Suella Braverman talking tough on illegal immigration and levels of net migration. But is she serious about stopping the boats? Where's the substance? Let's go to Manchester now. And GB News' very own Nigel Farage. Nigel, were you convinced by what you heard?
No, we've heard it all before. All the right analysis, all the right rhetoric, maybe even stronger than Priti Patel, but no solutions offered whatsoever. And Mark, unbelievably, the whole conference was waiting to hear about the ECHR. And do you know what? She didn't even mention it. She talked about the Human Rights Act, but didn't mention ECHR withdrawal. Now, some say Rishi will spring this on us tomorrow. I'm not so sure.
Indeed, and of course the ECHR, that would be the tangible message that this government is serious about stopping the boats. Do they have any credibility if taking the ECHR off the table is an option?
In my view, absolutely none. Unless you can deport people, you cannot stop the criminal traffickers from collecting their €5,000 a time. As I say, maybe Rishi Sunak will speak about it tomorrow, but so far from this conference, there's not one big, strong, positive message. I thought her speech today, she's better at speaking in public and all the rest of it, but in terms of what she's actually going to do, she was like a toothless puppy.
So you're not convinced, Nigel. Why did you go up to conference this year?
Well, two reasons, really, Mark. One, of course, to cover stuff for GB News. The second, to assess the mood and maybe cause a bit of mischief. And what I've found is overwhelmingly the delegates believe in the things I'm saying, believe in the campaigns I've been pushing. And, much of it, we are hearing, aren't we, Liz Truss. We are hearing politicians in the Conservative Party now saying things that I've been saying for the best part of 20 years. So I like to think my presence here gives some influence.
Well, indeed, and your rapturous reception tells us that the movement itself, the grassroots Conservatives, want to have a Conservative Party again, but they don't have one.
No, and the funny thing is this, the centre of gravity of where the MPs are is just a mile away from where the activists and where the voters are. This party has now become a social democrat, big state, big surveillance, big tax, mass legal immigration party. They're nowhere. Sunak has one chance. We saw a couple of weeks ago on net zero some sensible moves, but tomorrow is his one big chance to put out a message. I just don't know, though, whether he's really got it in him.
Indeed, this could be rhetoric, and of course they will pay the price at the ballot box. But would not Labour be worse in terms of stopping the boats and controlling levels of legal migration as well, Nigel? Do you have to be careful what you wish for?
How could they be worse? How could it possibly be worse? If I'd said to you in 2010, over 100,000 young men would cross the English Channel in dinghies, you wouldn't have believed me. If I'd said to you in 2010, when Cameron took power, that legal net migration would be running at 600,000 a year, you wouldn't have believed me. Can Labour really be worse than that?
Now, of course, the Conservative Party is the most established and oldest political party in European political history. Therefore, it's an impressive platform. They may well lose the next election, Nigel, but don't you think you could revive their fortunes? I mean, Rishi Sunak has said in an interview that he wouldn't rule out welcoming you into the party. He's shown you a bit of leg.
Well, I guess he has in a way, although had he rejected it, I think half the conference hall would have walked out when he spoke yesterday, so he didn't have much option on that, really. I mean, look, I wouldn't join the party now, as it's currently constructed, but what's really been happening here over the course of the last few days, forget what's happening in the hall, it's on the fringe. That's where the energy is. You've got the One Nation lot saying there are 80 of us, nothing must change. And then you've got the Trussite wing saying we've got to become a party of low tax, a party of entrepreneurs. What's really happening here, they're jockeying for which wing wins after they lose the next election. If the right wing were to win, well then, you know what, I think about it.
Indeed. Would you include Suella Braverman in that sort of Trussite group?
Yes, oh yes. I mean, look, she talks the talk on many of these things. She's a genuine Brexiteer. She's the only member of the cabinet that went all the way and voted 3 times against Liz Truss's appalling deal. No, she is genuine in her convictions, but what tends to happen is these MPs get senior office and somehow they seem to change. Today was, from her, I thought, a very big disappointment.
Interesting stuff, damning words. Nigel, let's take a look at a little bit of dance floor action last night at conference. I think you might be involved. Take a look. Forget about sleeping with the enemy, dancing with the enemy, Nigel. It's a love-in.
It was just a normal night out for me, Mark. I do this sort of thing every evening. Nothing very exceptional about it at all. But I tell you what, the GB News Party was the social event of this conference. And well done to everybody on our channel for making it such a great fun, and I mean fun, event.
Yes, Nigel, we haven't spoken. I'll let you go in a second, and thank you so much for all of your brilliant on-air contributions today. But we haven't spoken since a lot of drama that befell this channel in recent days. Of course, we won't get into the details, but the establishment have seized upon this opportunity to try to shut us down. Will they succeed?
I mean, Adam Bolton, God help us. Adam Bolton saying we should be closed down because there is an ecology in broadcasting. I've been here before. You know, they wanted UKIP closed down because they couldn't bear us. There is no way they're going to close GB News down. We did make, last week, some very bad mistakes as a channel. But hey, we haven't hosted Russell Brand or Jimmy Savile. We haven't suggested acid be thrown over public figures. It wasn't good, but we'll not only survive it, we'll thrive from it. And I tell you what, when you're here at this conference, you realise this channel now has serious influence in public life in Britain, and we should all, yourself included, be very proud of that.